Okay students, today in your tier 2 syllabus we are going to start unit E. The topic is set language. So these are the subtopics, it is already in your book. So without wasting any time, let us get into the modules. And I will explain the concepts as we go along. So first of all, what is a set? So a set is a group of well-defined objects. So, a set is a group of well-defined objects. That means, if we have a group of objects and we can define each object, then it is called a set. So, a set is represented by a capital letter and it is defined by a equal sign, starting curly brackets, and writing all the elements and closing the curly bracket. So here in this example, the set A is a set of two objects and those two objects are orange and mango. Let us take another example. Set B. So set B contains the elements 1, 2, 3, ... and so on. So B is the set of the natural numbers. This set can also be represented in another format like this. Start a curly bracket. X is an element of set B such that this symbol is called such that X belongs to, this is the belongs to symbol, capital N. Capital N is the set of natural numbers. So X such that X belongs to natural numbers. So set B will be the set of all the natural numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Now at this point, what we have learned till now, a set is a group of well-defined objects. You must be able to define each object. Here B can be defined as set of natural numbers. A can be defined as the set containing the elements orange and mango. So all the elements, this orange is an element of A, mango is an element of A. Similarly, 2 is an element of B, 9 will also be an element of B, 100 will also be an element of B. So these things separated by the commas within the curly brackets are called the elements of the set. So if we are able to define each of the elements, then this group is called a set. Now let us take another group. Group of good boys in class 7. Now this group C is not a set. Why? Because there are many boys in your class, but being good is a relative term. Someone can be more good, someone can be less good. So the members of this group are not defined. So you cannot decide one boy is good or bad depending on only one categorization. So this group cannot be called a set, as the elements of this group are not well defined. But if you say so D is the set of boys who got more than 70% in tier 1 mathematics in class 7, then this D can be called a set. Why? Because we can easily count all the members of this set. How many boys got more than 70% in tier 1 exam? We can easily count that. And we can easily identify each member of this group. So something which is not well defined cannot be called a set. Something which is well defined can be called a set. Now this brings us to the next topic, the cardinality of a set. Before going to cardinality, let us consider these two sets A and B. How many numbers of elements are there in set A? 1 and 2. So we can write cardinality of set A. That means number of elements of set A equal to 2. But look at set B. Can you count how many numbers of elements are there in set B? No, we cannot, because there are an infinite number of natural numbers. So this set A, since the number of elements are finite, then it will be called a finite set. And since set B, we cannot count all the members or all the elements of set B, it is called a infinite set. Okay, so this brings us to module number 1. In module number 1, you are asked to write the cardinal number of sets if possible and mark them as finite or infinite set. Look at demo number 1. The set A is given as X such that X belongs to W. So W is the set of whole numbers. So A can be represented as within curly brackets 0, 1, 2, to infinity. Since the number of elements in set A is uncountable, see how it is written. Therefore, n within simple brackets A equal to uncountable. This is the cardinality symbol. N A uncountable. Hence, A is a infinite set. In number 2, B is equal to X such that X equal to 5n. So 5 into n gives you an element of B such that n belongs to whole numbers and 0 is smaller than equal to n and n is smaller than 3. So n is a whole number either equal to 0 or greater than 0 but smaller than 3. So n will be equal to 0, 1 and 2. It cannot be 3 because it should be less than 3. So B will be equal to 5n, that is 5 into 0, 5 into 1, 5 into 2. 0, 1 and 2 comes from here and this 5 comes from 5n in each case. So 5 into 0, 0, 5 into 1, 5, 5 into 2, 10. So there are 3 elements in set B. So number of elements of set B is equal to 3. Hence B is a finite set. Okay, now let us move on. In module number 1, question number A is given. The set A containing elements 3, 4, 5 and 6. So, this is the question. So, number of elements of set A is equal to 4. There are 4 elements. Therefore, set A is a finite set. So this is how you are going to solve all the other problems of module number 1. Now let us move on to module number 2. In module number 2, which of the following sets are finite? So this you can mark in your book itself. See, number A, P, the set P equal to students of your school. So there are a fixed number of students in our school, so it will be a finite set. So yes, P is a finite set. Number B, Q equal to man-made satellites in the sky. Of course, there are a limited number of man-made satellites in the sky, so yes, Q is a finite set. Again, question number C, Z equal to ... -2 -1 0, that means Z equal to set of the integers, but there are infinite number of integers, so Z is a infinite set. So we will write, therefore Z is not a finite set. Because why? The question is asking which of the following sets are finite, so you will have to write the answer accordingly. That means therefore Z is not a finite set. Moving on, question number D, X equal to X such that X belongs to Z. What was Z? Z was the set of integers, and -7 is smaller than X, which is smaller than 7. That means X, the set X contains the element greater than -7. That means -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we can count the elements. Therefore X is a finite set. You can just write finite and infinite in the book itself. Don't worry, don't need to use the copy for module number 2, but yes, for module number 1 you have to use your copy. Now let us move on to module number 3. In module number 3, identify the sets as empty, finite or infinite set. Now this brings us to the new concept of an empty set. So an empty set is a set which doesn't have any element within the curly brackets. So if A is equal to this, that means A is a empty set and number of elements of the set A will be 0. That means 0 elements are there in the set A. So any set which doesn't contain any element will be a empty set. Now let us look at the questions. First of all, let us go to the demo part. X such that X is a 2-digit composite number. Of course, 2-digit numbers are countable numbers. There are countable amount of 2-digit numbers, so it is a finite set. Prime numbers between 7 and 11. There are no prime numbers between 7 and 11, so this is a empty set. A cow with 5 tails. If you don't know, let me tell you, a cow is a 4-legged animal with 2 eyes, 1 tongue and 1 tail. A cow is an animal that never has 5 tails. In case you already know that, then it was a joke. Anyways, so a cow with 5 tails, you cannot find any cow with 5 tails, so it is a empty set. Now moving on to module number 3. Question number A, X such that X equal to 8n n belongs to natural number and x is smaller than 50. That means, look here, x such that, okay, the such that symbol can also be used like this, okay, x such that x equal to 8n and n belongs to the set of natural numbers and x is smaller than 50. So what we can write, let me put this equal sign, curly bracket starts here. So x equal to 8n, n is natural number. If we consider the first natural number 1, so 1 into 8 is 8, comma, then the second natural number is 2, so 2 into 8 16, then 3 into 8 24, 32, 40, 48. Then no, we cannot write anything more because x should be less than 50. So our set ends here. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 elements. Since the number of elements are countable, so we will write that this is a finite set. Okay, now in question number B, x such that x belongs to 5n, that means multiples of 5 where n belongs to whole numbers. So whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, dot dot dot. So we have to write 5n. 5n's will be 5 into 0, 0, 5 into 1, 5, 5 into 2, 10, 5 into 3, 15 and so on. So as we cannot count the total number of whole numbers, we cannot count the total number of elements in this set. So the set given in question number B will be an infinite set. Okay, now like this you will do all the problems in module number 3. I'll show you the answers at the end of the video, don't worry. Now let us move on to the concept of subsets. Set A is called a subset of B if every element of A is also a member of member of set B. It is written as A subset of B. This is the symbol of subset. Now let us consider an practical example. Set A is the set of the numbers 1, 2 and 3. Let us see. Okay, and set B is the set of elements 1 and 2. Okay, now all the elements of set B are also present in set A. Okay, then we can write set B is a subset of set A. Okay, now if we are asked to write all the subsets of this set, then what will be the first subset? The empty set is a subset of every set, no elements. Then this is a subset of A because every element is present in A. Then this set is also a subset of A because this element is present in A. Then this will be another subset of A. Moving on, 1 and 2. This is a subset of A because all the elements of this set is present in A, comma 2, 3. All the elements here are also here, so this is a subset of A. Again 3, 1 or 1, 3. You can write both ways. Okay. The arrangement of the elements doesn't change the set. So these elements are also present here. So this is a subset of A. And again at the last 1, 2, 3. Okay, all the elements of this set is also present in set A. So this is also a subset of A. Okay, now here what we need to remember is an empty set. This, okay, empty set is also represented by a symbol called the phi. This is the phi symbol. The empty set is a subset of every set, and every set is a subset of itself. Just remember these 2 points. Every set is a subset of itself, and phi or an empty set is a subset of every set. These 2 concepts will be useful for you for later part of your mathematics classes. Okay, so remember these 2 points even if it is not given in your book at this point. Now let us move on. Let us move on to module number 4. Okay, in module number 4, what we are asked to do, write all the subsets of the given set. How many subsets have you got? See, this is the first demo that I have already explained. Empty set, the set of the element 1, set of element 2, set of element 3, set of 2 elements, that is 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, and the set itself is also a subset. Okay, so total number of subsets are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Number of subsets 8. In the same way, go through the second demo also. The same thing is done. Now, in the same way, you will solve all the problems of module number 4. This is very easy. I'll show you the answers at the end of the video. Don't worry. Now let us move on to module number 5. Now, before going to module number 5, see, here are two new terms, disjoint and overlapping. So, I have to explain you what are overlapping sets and disjoint sets before I give you the answers to module number 5. Now, let us consider again 2 sets P and Q. Okay, let us say set P contains the elements A, B, C, and set Q contains the elements B, C, D. Okay, and set R contains the elements D, E, F. Okay, clear? Set P is the set of elements A, B and C. Set Q is the set of elements B, C and D, and set R is the set of elements D, E and F. Now see, here in P and Q, the element B and element C are common. So P and Q are overlapping sets. In the same way, look at set Q and R. Here element D is common. So set Q and set R are overlapping sets. So what we have learned, that if 2 sets has even one element in common, then we can say that those 2 sets are overlapping sets. But if we consider set P and set R, see, there are no common elements between set P and set R. So set P and set R are called disjoint sets. So if 2 sets have no common elements, then we can say that those 2 sets are disjoint. Okay, so now let us move on to module number 5. Go through the demo yourself, it is very simple, but let us solve question number B. Set A is the set of the letters of the word women. So W, O, M, E, N. these are the elements of set A, and set B is the set of the letters of the word man. That means M, A and N are the elements of set B. Now we have to say, find which pair of sets are disjoint and which are overlapping. So this is our question, set A and B. Here we can see clearly that this M and M and this N and N are common elements. So we will write, therefore A and B are overlapping sets. So this is how you are going to do all the problems in module number 5. Now let us discuss more about the other modules. Okay students, before moving on, let me explain you two more concepts. One is the universal set and the other is the Venn diagram. Okay, now a universal set. Now let us consider again two sets, A equal to A, B, C, and set B equal to say 3, 4, 7. These are two random sets I have considered. Okay, now universal set represented by either this symbol, okay, or a capital U will be the set of, if this is a universal set over A and B, then it will contain all the elements of A and all the elements of B. That means A, B, C. It can contain more elements also. Okay, D, 3, 4, 7, 9, let us say. So all the elements of set A are in U, all elements of B are in U. Here we can also write that set C containing the elements B and 9. U is a universal set of C also, U is a universal set of B also, U is a universal set of A also. Okay, this is the concept of universal set. Now, a Venn diagram is a diagrammatic representation of sets. Now, let us say this represents the set U from here. That means A, B, C, D, 3, 4, 7, 9 are all present within this box. Now A, B and C, this is a dot, B dot, C. These dots, these 3 dots represents elements. Okay, now if I encircle this, then this oval will represent the set A. Okay, now set B will be represented like this: 3, 4 and 7. Let us say this is 7, this is 3, this is 4. If I make a circle around this, this is set B. Okay, now set C contains the element B and the element 9. Let us say 9 is here, and if we draw it like this, then this is the set C. Now what is the other element remaining of U? A is here, B is here, C is here, D is not here. So let us say this is element D. Okay, all the elements will be represented by small dots, and we can write the element near the dot also, don't worry. So D, 3 is here, 4 is here, 7 is here and 9 is here. So this is how you will represent A, B, C and U in a Venn diagram. Now in a Venn diagram, just see set A and set B do not have any common elements. That means set A and B are disjoint sets. So this is another method. By drawing a Venn diagram, you can easily check if two sets are disjoint or overlapping. Here B is a common element between the set A and the set C. So set A and C are overlapping sets. Keeping this in mind, now let us move on to module number 6. Write the sets A and B in Rooster method from the given Venn diagrams and verify the formula A union B plus A intersection B equal to number of elements in set A plus number of elements in set B. Now, this is a formula that you will have to remember, okay? This is called union. Let me explain again. I've already given you this example, right? So, if we were to find P union Q, P union Q, this symbol is represented read as union symbol, okay? So, the set P union Q will contain all the elements of P and all the elements of Q. That means A, B, C, D. That's it. We will not repeat the elements. This is how you are going to write P union Q. Again, P intersection Q. That means here see the point, the element which are overlapping. That means they are intersecting between two different sets. So we will write only the common elements. That means B and C here also, B and C here also. So P intersection Q will contain only the elements B and C. Clear? So this is the union symbol, this is the intersection symbol. Okay, now in module number 6, we have to write the given sets in Rooster method. This is the Rooster method, okay? Writing all the elements between two curly braces. This is called the Rooster method. And after writing this, we have to find out the number of elements in A union B, number of elements in A intersection B, number of elements in set A, and number of elements in set B. Okay. Now here look at the demo. This is the Venn diagram given. This rectangle represents the universal set. Set A contains the elements 5, 6, 7 and 8, and set B contains the elements 8, 16 and 24. So set A 5, 6, 7, 8, set B 8, 16 and 24. So A intersection B, common elements are only 8. So we have written like this. Then A union B, all elements of A and all union elements of B. That means 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 and 24. So number of elements in set A 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Number of elements of set B 1, 2, 3. 3. Number of elements in A intersection B. See here only one element, so 1. Number of elements in A union B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 6. Now we have to verify number of elements in A plus number of elements in B. Left hand side gives you, see, A plus B, that means 4 plus 3, 7. Then again, number of elements in A union B plus number of elements in A intersection B. That means 1 plus 6 is 7. Since left hand side equal to right hand side, therefore this is verified. Now let us solve one problem of module number 6, and then you will do all the other problems by yourself. See, in question number A, the set A contains the elements A, B, C, D and E. So there are 5 number of elements in set A. So number of elements in set A will be 5. Elements in set B are D, E, F, G. So number of elements in set B are 4. Now look closely. This is the intersection part, this is the overlapping part of the two circles. So in the overlapping part there are only 2 elements. So A intersection B will give you only 2 elements D and E. Okay. Now A union B will contain all the elements of A and B, that is A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Okay, so let us see. Set A contains A, B, C, D and E, so number of elements in set A is 5. Element B contains D, E, F, G, so number of elements in set B is 4. A intersection B contains only D and E, so number of elements in A intersection B is 2. A union B contains A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So number of elements of A union B will be 7. So number of elements of A plus number of elements of B will be 5 plus 4 equal to 9. Again, number of elements in A intersection B plus number of elements in A union B will be 2 plus 7 equal to 9. Therefore, we can write number of elements in set A plus number of elements in set B is equal to number of elements in A union B plus number of elements in A intersection B. Here you can write hence verified. So this is how you are going to solve all the problems in module number 6. I'll show you the answer at the end of the video.